This always makes you feel uncomfortable. These emotions of like hurt and pain until you could grasp what they're really meant to do in your life. That initial discomfort is considered in your choice. So the way that I see it is cognition is so complex, and I find that most of my stressors come from the way that I perceive my reality. We have this thing called metacognition, and it's essentially seeing how we're thinking. It's like I put the thought process right here. Metacognition kind of takes it outside of that first and makes us think and view and visualize what we're actually thinking about it, and we're allowed to process it in a more logical way. I could like journal it, I could read it out loud, I could think about it and like meditate. It's almost like I will meditate and I see on like one half of the screen my thoughts of like, oh, I'm gonna make this for dinner and I need to respond to Lily, Sally, Sue, or whatever. And then outside, I see that I am envisioning that, and I can see on a deeper level that things are peaceful. Things are like supposed to work out as they are. And it's kind of almost like a soft tone. And the more that I deep dive into that other side, the more I'm allowing myself to see those thoughts from a distance and let them go. That's not what I wanted to talk about today, though. You're not alive to be tested. We're not put on this earth to make things hard for us. I think it is something that I've grown to learn. I'm pretty sick right now. I'm finally starting to sound better. I've been drinking fluids like no other. And whenever I'm sick, I use this as an opportunity to kind of reflect on how my life is going. Sickness can kind of take me to different scenarios. I can either choose to kind of like learn and see like, why did I get sick? Like, I don't really believe in chances. I like know that my immune system will completely plummet when I'm stressed out. And I could use this time to like relax and let my body get the rest that it needs. And I could still work on my mindset and be positive during this time. Or I can use this as a time to like brain rot and just dig myself into a deeper hole of depression and not get out of my bed and not want to get better. I feel like it's so easy for us to kind of slip into that slope of I like being sick, and people might not consciously notice that. I think when I was first diagnosed with everything, with my autoimmunity, and even before when I had my traumatic brain injury in my head, it was so easy for me to lay back and just let the world go beyond me. Like, I did not use anything I went through as a learning experience, as I'm doing now. But we're not put on this earth to be tested. And I think the way that we're able to use our mind to make sense of the world and respond in so many different ways is just like, it's a blessing, but it's also at our detriment, because we basically make choices or make thoughts and opinions based on the world that we've previously experienced, based on what we've been modeled as a kid. But we're also put on this earth to learn. So often do we have this like idea of like, oh, we need to face the discomfort and like transcend that so we could grow and be the people that we're meant to be. And I think that's something that I've been trying to lean into more as I continue to grow. This discomfort, oh my God, I just saw 333. What does this mean? Every time I feel like this pain or discomfort, I use it to kind of seek the deeper truth as to why I'm feeling this way. I'll give you an example. When I first got diagnosed with my autoimmune disease in 2022, I was not where I was supposed to be. I was working a job for someone, and I did like my job dearly, but I was moving all over the place. I was traveling all over the place. I was super stressed out. I would get cancellations and just feel like I was at such a scarcity mindset because I was trying to pick up more work to make up for that. I was going out a lot and like not eating healthy, and I had a rash all over my face. And it was that like, it got to the point where because I really wasn't letting myself slow down, that I was in this massive flare up almost at all time, and it was in my best interest to quit that job, and it kind of made me shift completely in terms of what I'm practicing now, and like how I live my life now, and what's like I hold near and dear to my heart. And if I wasn't put in that position to kind of reevaluate how I feel about the world and how I feel about myself, and that life is to be enjoyed, not like pushing myself through the scarcity mindset, I might still be working that job and still be like doing things that like I would not want to do now. Like I like to live a slower life and like be with my discomfort today does not mean that life is hard. And that's something that like I'm trying not to put myself in the victim mindset of like, although I'm sick, although I get flare-ups, I'm a little bit more sensitive than other people, I can't eat gluten. This is because I'm meant to move past that. Like I'm meant to transcend that, whether that be I kind of enjoy life more by making these modifications and giving myself breaks and exploring other avenues to help with this like dissatisfaction of my health. But it's also to kind of show people that you're able to move past it. So I've been reading this book. It is like kind of morbid, the name of it. So I'll put that in the show notes because I don't want to say it out loud. Essentially, the authors are talking about you are the reason the sun rises each day. You are not an afterthought. You are always meant to be first. Your opportunity never stopped knocking. You were always in the right place at the right time, and everyone was doing their level best at everything they tried. Where your thoughts would become things, your dreams gave you wings, and everyone pushed on greatness every single day of their lives. Yet, in spite of all this, at a primitive time in history, the masses, including you, noticed none of this. You were each preoccupied in the dramas of your own circle of family, friends, and enemies who allowed you or even encouraged you to focus on what was wrong, what didn't work, and what you didn't have. It's kind of that idea of like, who told you that the world was evil or that the world was set out to be difficult? Eternity promises too much to spend one more moment looking back with regret than what is necessary. Now, every life experiences this far essentially create who you are. And it will be presented again and again, but you are meant to kind of hold it into this loving place to celebrate your triumphs and that you've moved and conquered this far. Now, this book, again, it's just something that I read and I feel compelled to share it. But when you are kind of like newer to this like idea of spirituality, this always makes you feel uncomfortable. These emotions of like hurt and pain until you could grasp what they're really meant to do in your life. That initial discomfort is considered in your choice to like be and live this human experience. Like you knew what you were signing up for when you came into this world. You are not meant to bear that which you find unpleasant. You were meant to change it. That is why every twitch of pain and malaise invites you to wake up and see the grander truth and reveal the bigger reality and a more magnificent you, pushing you even closer to the awareness of your true place within reality creation as a creator. That's the idea that you create your own reality. Now, kind of what I opened up with is that everything we've lived up until today is kind of primed in our brains. So if you have always had a bad experience walking into one specific restaurant, their wait staff is awful. They never fully cook their steak the way you like it. You're not going to go into that restaurant thinking you're going to have a good experience at that restaurant. And so when you are experiencing negative symptoms, you have to take the high road and choose that I'm going to look deeper into this instead of settling and being comfortable. And at the end of it all, I want you to remind yourself that there is expansion, there's love, there is joy, there is relief. This is not forever. This is something to serve you in this lifetime. Now, regardless to if you, whatever religion you are, I know that there's like different religions and every kind of like the end is a little different, and I lean like Catholic, so I'm not going to like expand on that, but we're not alive to be judged or tested. We are supposed to be here to enjoy this experience. And when we're sick, we're supposed to use this time to reflect, look deeper into ourselves, what isn't working, what is working, and change. We're not meant to stay the same forever. So if you're dealing with some kind of diagnosis, I'm sending so much love and light your way. I know that my experience has been very different from other people's, especially because I have a lot of privilege when accessing medicine and just having a support system. So I'm sending you so much love and light. And again, this is going to push you to a greater truth for why you're meant to be on this earth, and just like allow you and bring you closer to the awareness of the greater you. And I hope you have a great one. I will see you guys next time.